can you talk more specifically, excuse me, can you talk more specifically about the process of bootstrapping? It's a topic a lot of us are really interested in, and the practicalities seem to be the stumbling block. So that is a very good question. So first of all, let's define bootstrapping. I'm not sure if this is a term that everyone knows in the audience, but this is the notion of being able to build and scale your business without any outside funding. So completely self-funded or no funded even in some cases. And so the process of bootstrapping, that's really a very wide question, but let me try to attack it through a couple different lenses. So the way that the first principle of bootstrapping that I sort of have accepted, and one that I feel sort of ambivalent about, is your growth is going to be a little bit slower, particularly if you are doing a tech business, and you should accept that because that's a cost, but there are also many benefits. So the reason why I believe that you're a little bit slower is if you're starting with very limited funds, let's say it's just your own money, then you may not have the capital up front to hire 10 engineers to rapidly develop and prototype your products, or hire all those salespeople who are super expensive to start hitting the streets and going out to clients and closing deals. A lot of times when you're a bootstrapper, you have to work with very limited funds. As a result, your team has to be a little bit smaller, and the development cycles that you have will naturally be slower at first until you can get some revenue and profitability going. When you're a bootstrapper, another mentality that is unique to bootstrappers, which I believe are actually the majority of entrepreneurs in the United States and even in the globe, is that profitability is something you need to achieve very, very rapidly. So in comparison to, let's say, startups or founders who have raised a lot of money, let's say $2 million up front to seed your business. A lot of times in Silicon Valley, at least, profitability isn't something that people care about for quite some time, or maybe even never care about. Take a look at Tumblr. They never made a single dime of profit, but still they were able to sell for $1 billion plus, and that's totally cool. That works for them. But when you're a bootstrapper, the only way that you grow is from retained earnings, meaning the money that you make, you reinvest that money into future stuff that you build as well as pay yourself. So, profitability and achieving profitability quickly is something that is absolutely critical to your survival when you're a bootstrapper. And just to address, I guess, the second part of the question about the practicalities of bootstrapping, and that being a stumbling block. So again, I think the biggest stumbling block is the fact that you have to move a bit slower. Again, you're going to be resource deficient, but at the same time, if you want to see the glass half full about that, when you're resource deficient, that forces you to stay lean. It forces you to really stretch your skills. And it also forces you to make critical choices about how you spend your money. And I don't have any data behind this, but my qualitative perspective on bootstrappers is that they spend a lot more time on where each dollar goes and have a slightly better hit rate, perhaps, than people who've raised a ton of money on running the experiments that will produce better results and actually show a return on investment. So, if you can bootstrap, I think you should always try to do it. It's always nice to not have a boss too, in terms of angels or VCs. It's really up to you on how fast or slow you want to grow your business. Also, it's really nice to have 100% of the equity as a bootstrapper versus diluting yourself by raising money. So those are my thoughts on bootstrapping. Happy to answer more questions about that.